Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to your mid-March 2022 general tarot reading. It's Raina here. I said it's Raina me. Ooh, I just got the Empress for Cancer. Now I got the Emperor for Scorpio. Cool beans. Okay. Alrighty then. Some of these cards have different lingo, like torches instead of wands and the universe instead of the world card. I have said this before that I wish these decks, they usually have like little booklets. And this is the Cosmic Slumber deck, and it has this cute little book, and it's like a hardcover, which is a nice touch. But these little booklets never tell you about symbolism, like why do they depict certain things a certain way. And I'm kind of, oh, you know what, I think that's supposed to be a ram, because I see the ram's ears now. I wasn't really paying attention to that. I was paying attention to the face, and it looked almost like an alien to me, or an anteater. And now I see the horns, so they were kind of camouflaged. So this is associated with Aries, so that makes sense in that sense. Okay, so the heart of the matter is the Emperor. And that's a card of somebody who is getting themselves together, getting their, together, stuff together. And Cancer. Do you feel that that's true, that you're trying to organize your life? There may be some specific reason. I can think of a few things. Getting over an addiction, that can be a big one. When somebody has numbed themselves out through substance abuse, I'm talking about that particular addiction, and then they are faced with all of their problems because they are in their sobriety. They have to change people, places, and things. And part of that is how you get your life back together. But same with relationships, being in a toxic relationship. When I look at the past position, we have the Nine of Torches or Wands, and this can be that, having boundaries, setting boundaries. And another thing that this can represent, these cards can represent, is that you're dealing with somebody like the Emperor who is very controlling. The professions that the Emperor is associated with are professions that you would associate Aries with, which are police officer, judge, military man, somebody who is an authority figure, could be a father. So, even if you are 40 years old, you may have to set boundaries with your parent, especially, even if it's a mother who is, maybe she is the emperor, even though she's a woman, but she is that authority, domineering type of person, and you realize that you have to lay down the law with these people. So, the emperor, to me, can be about even a narcissistic personality, and they try to control things, and you're not having it anymore. And so because of this, you may find that you are at a crossroads in your life where you are like trying to become more independent. And this can also lead to, like, for people who have separated or even just like supposedly broken up totally, that person can come back into your life at some point. And they usually do so when you are together, when you've finally gotten yourself together, like the Emperor suggests. That's, that song, I never seem to be able to say the name of that song, that disco song. I Will Survive. When she, when they say, um, basically coming back into my life after I've been, gotten myself together again. The higher message, the Five of Pentacles. This is the card of lack consciousness, although in this deck it looks pretty nice. Let me see if they... I don't really know what it's supposed to suggest. It has a bunch of leaves here because I think since pentacles relate to prosperity, money, it can be about wealth and things like that, and abundance. And with the five, there's like this shifting nature of it. So it can be somebody who has lack consciousness. I mean, that's what it can represent, the Five of Pentacles. And so in this particular situation, when you're dealing with someone who is very overbearing, maybe the Emperor's a boss, you may try to lay down the law, but that doesn't mean that that person's going to respect it. And it's very important to realize that. And so it ultimately will always bounce back to you. What are you allowing in your life? And why? Why are you allowing this? If it's a job, you might be like, because I have to pay my bills. I don't have money saved up, so I can't just up and leave. Well, maybe that's absolutely true. But are there other things in your mind that keep you locked into certain seemingly necessary situations for indefinite amounts of time? Because if you feel like you can't do something, that doesn't mean that you can't do it in the future. Like if you feel like you can't quit a job, that doesn't mean that you can't quit it 6 months from now. And if you were really driven to experience what you feel is what you are deserving in a higher sense, then you would be really activated or motivated to change those circumstances. But sometimes when people encounter a difficult situation, especially if it's with somebody who kind of has an overbearing character, it's almost like they freeze up. It's almost like they, especially if you had like a father or either, it doesn't have to be the male parent, but a parent who is very aggressive or overly overbearing. Some people do not know how to stand in their own power, and so it kind of triggers them in a sense, and it's almost like they revert back to childhood in a sense. So seeing where you are not realizing all of the possibilities in your life, it can also be excessive materialism that keeps you from really seeing the totality of what your life is all about, and just kind of if you're dealing with a work situation, just thinking about the money and I'm going to lose all this money if I leave the situation, instead of the emotional toll that it is taking. What crosses you is the Queen of Pentacles, and this can be a situation where you are not handling your money very well. Maybe you're like excessively materialistic. This is another card that suggests that. The Queen of Pentacles in the upright position is nourishing. You see the earthy quality of this card. And in the challenge interpretation that I'm reading it as, it's like going against that natural embracing of life from a nourishing perspective. The Queen of Pentacles in reverse can be a materialistic mother or in-law. These could be the parents. Maybe these are the messages that you received growing up that you're beginning to question. And you're questioning them because you're like finding out that you need to have boundaries. Knight of Wands sometimes can be that there's this last battle that you have to fight. And sometimes this may be someone who is a problem in your life who keeps rearing their ugly head. And it's like you never really get past it, because then there's another, yet another violation of boundaries. And you have to become like your own emperor. In other words, you have to be able to be together enough that you can stop the pattern. But this person, it could be like Queen of Pentacles in the challenge position could be some earth sign woman or someone who is excessively materialistic, who is under the sign of Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. And that's why I say, because queens can be mothers, so if it's one of these mothers or in-laws, I just realized I'm getting this too, but I think this is a little bit different. What's coming in is the King of Torches, which is the King of Wands, and I think of this as the ultimate card of self-actualization and stepping into your own power at the highest level, because Wands are about fire and they're about independence. And so, by the way, the Queen of Pentacles can be someone who has money problems because of excessive spending and things like that. And that makes it very hard to have a sense of personal power, because the resources aren't there. And of course you don't have to have money to step into your power. But if you're dealing with other things where you don't want to be around someone, and you're like, if you have a partner who's like the emperor and you feel like you need to get away from that and you don't have the funds to do it, that's kind of what I'm talking about. So the King of Wands is stepping into your own power. And that isn't something that just happens like a light switch that goes off. It may be a bunch of steps that get you there, but you are willing to take that chance. To take those steps, that you're not going to just stay in a cycle of back and forth and feeling that your life is not your own. And part of that as the emperor is getting your life in order. Oh, now this makes perfect sense. The outcome is the universe, and this is the world card, the last card in the major arcana. And this is like a chapter closing in your life. Well, in May, you're going to have a lunar eclipse in your sign, Scorpio. And that could be, and it doesn't have to be on that date, which happens to be, I think, May 16th or something like that. It could be sometime around that date, or, in the month before or afterwards, where you get the courage. I think a lot of it can be courage, because the universe is cooperating with you. The universe may make certain avenues kind of close off or finish off. And, for instance, let's say you're somebody who's close to retirement age, but you still haven't bitten the bullet and done it because, fear or what have you. What if you get this notice, oh, we're going to close this office? So you're forced to do it, and it's coming from the outer world, but it's something that you have been wanting to do. So it's not, it's like it assists you in that change, that process of change. Remember that where a door closes, there can be a wide open door. And you're going to have solar eclipses in Scorpio as well. You're having both of these in the next 18 months. So there are going to be changes in your life. The only thing that you have to do is to be able to accept this without fear, without trying to cling to the known and trying to keep something the way it used to be. Because it just won't work when you have eclipses in your signs and your opposite sign. And by the way, that includes the opposite sign is Taurus. That includes, relationship issues. So you're going to have to ride that wave. And whatever it is for your highest good. Okay, that's what I have for you, Scorpio. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a personal reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.